Huitzilopochtli, the sun and war god of the Aztecs. Welcome back to Gods and Heroes Unveiled, where we uncover the epic myths of ancient cultures. Today, we're soaring into Aztec mythology to meet Huitzilopochtli, the sun and war god who bathed the world in light and blood. A fierce warrior born from chaos, he led the Aztecs to greatness and demanded their devotion. Ready to march under his fiery banner? Then hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the tale of this unstoppable deity together. 1. The origin of Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli, the blazing heart of Aztec mythology, didn't rise from a quiet birth. His origin is a violent explosion of divine power, drenched in blood and destiny. Unlike the primordial gods of Greece or the chaotic spawn of Norse tales, Huitzilopochtli emerged fully formed from a cosmic struggle, a warrior god born to protect and propel the Mexica, the Aztec people. His story begins with his mother, Huitzilopochtli, the serpent-skirted earth goddess, and a tale of betrayal that shook the heavens. Huitzilopochtli, revered as the mother of gods, was sweeping her temple on Kopek, the Serpent Hill, when a ball of feathers, some say hummingbird feathers, others a celestial gift, fell from the sky. She tucked it into her waistband, and miraculously, it impregnated her. This wasn't a gentle conception. It enraged her existing children, the Sinsan Huitznawa, the 400 southern stars, and their sister Huitzilopochtli, the moon goddess. Led by Huitzilopochtli, they saw this as a dishonor, an earth goddess bearing a child without a father, and plotted to kill her. Imagine the scene: Huitzilopochtli, heavy with child, facing a mob of her own offspring, their obsidian blades gleaming. The stars and moon, armed and furious, stormed Kopek to end her. But as they struck, Huitzilopochtli burst forth, not as a babe, but as a warrior, clad in armor, wielding the Zyacotl, the turquoise serpent, a fire-spitting weapon of divine wrath. In an instant, he beheaded Huitzilopochtli, her body tumbling down the hill, dismembered. The 400 stars fell next, scattered by his fury, their lights snuffed out. Born in battle, Huitzilopochtli claimed his place as protector. His name tells his tale. Huitzil means hummingbird, a bird of agility and war to the Aztecs, and Apochtli means left or southern, tying him to the sun's path and the south. His origin wasn't just a birth, it was a cosmic shift. The Aztecs saw him as the sun itself, rising each day to slay the moon and stars, his mother's foes, in a never-ending cycle. Huitzilopochtli's survival birthed not just a god, but a mission to lead the Mexica from their wandering days to a promised land. That promise came through prophecy. Huitzilopochtli spoke to the Mexica, then called the Aztecs in their migration through priests, guiding them from Aztlan, their mythic homeland. Seek an eagle on a cactus, devouring a snake, he commanded, a vision that led them to a swampy island in Lake Texcoco. There, in 1325, they founded Tenochtitlan, their capital, his temple at its heart. His origin wasn't static, it moved with them, a god born to march. His lineage set him apart. Unlike Quetzalcoatl, tied to creation, or Tlaloc, rooted in rain, Huitzilopochtli was Huitzilopochtli alone. No father claimed, his birth a miracle of earth and sky. Some linked the feathers to the sun's rays, others to the hummingbird's speed, a symbol of warriors who died and rose as birds. His origin reflects Aztec values. War is life, blood is power, a god who fought from the womb to shield his people. This wasn't a gentle dawn, it was a bloody sunrise, a warrior god forged in betrayal and triumph. As we'll see, Huitzilopochtli didn't rest, He rose each day, demanding sacrifice, driving the Aztecs to glory with every beat of his fiery heart. 2. Huitzilopochtli's role and deeds. Huitzilopochtli didn't linger in myth. He burned bright as the sun and war god, his role a relentless force in Aztec life, his deeds a cycle of blood and conquest. Born to defend his mother, he became the Mexica's divine champion, guiding them to Tenochtitlan and fueling their empire with his fiery will. His story isn't one of peace, it's a drumbeat of battle, sacrifice, and the sun's daily war against the dark. His primary role was dual, the sun and war. As Tonatiuh, the fifth son of Aztec cosmology, Huitzilopochtli rose each morning, battling Coyolxauhqui, the moon, and the Tzintzunhuitznawa, the stars, to bring light. This wasn't symbolic. The Aztecs believed the sun needed strength to triumph, strength drawn from human blood. Warriors captured in battle were offered to him, their hearts torn out atop his Templo Mayor in Tenochtitlan, their sacrifice feeding his ascent. Without it, darkness would reign, an apocalyptic fear he wielded. His deeds began with leadership. When the Mexica wandered from Aztlan, Huitzilopochtli guided them through visions. Priests carried his idol, a hummingbird-topped bundle, relaying his commands. Build where the eagle perches, he decreed, and on that swampy island, they raised his city. His temple, a twin pyramid shared with Tlaloc, towered over Tenochtitlan, its steps red with offerings. His migration wasn't passive, he drove them, a war god forging a nation. War defined his reign. Huitzilopochtli blessed the Aztecs' flower wars, ritual battles to capture foes for sacrifice, his Xiacotla mythic echo in their obsidian blades. His priests, painted black and blue, danced his rites, hummingbird feathers in their hair, reenacting his birth slaying of Coyolxauhqui. The Templo Mayor's Coyolxauhqui stone, her carved, broken body, immortalized his victory, a warning to enemies and a vow to his people. He didn't just inspire war, he was war, his light their strength. His clash with rivals marked his power. When the Aztecs faced hostile tribes, Huitzilopochtli's favor turned tides. Tenochtitlan rose from a weak outpost to an empire spanning Mesoamerica. His priests claimed he spoke through oracles, urging expansion, his will in every conquest. Unlike Quetzalcoatl's wisdom or Tlaloc's reign, his deeds were visceral, blood flowed, hearts burned, the sun blazed. His role demanded it, a god who fought daily, needing warriors to match him. Festivals crowned his glory. Panquetzalisli, his month-long rite, saw human sacrifices, captives dressed as him, hearts offered to his idol, mimicking his birth. Hummingbirds, his reborn warriors, fluttered in myth, their speed his spirit. His deeds weren't tales, they were rituals, a cycle of death feeding life, sun chasing night. The Aztecs didn't just worship him, they sustained him, their empire his battlefield. His influence was total. Kings like Moctezuma bore his name's echo. Huitzilopochtli wasn't distant. He marched with them, his temple their heart. His role tied to their identity. War was survival, sacrifice was duty, his light their destiny. As we'll see, his legacy didn't set with the sun, it flared through time, a god whose blood-soaked reign still burns. 3. The legacy of Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli's legacy didn't fade with Tenochtitlan's fall, it blazed on, a sun that still casts light over Mexico and beyond. As the Aztecs' war and solar god, he left a mark in stone, blood, and culture, his fierce spirit enduring through conquest, time, and reinvention. From temples to modern flags, his tale is a fiery thread in Mesoamerica's weave. In Aztec times, Huitzilopochtli was their soul. The Templo Mayor, excavated in Mexico City, stood as his throne, its twin shrines to him and Tlaloc a testament to his reign. The Coyolxauhqui stone, unearthed there, freezes his birth victory, her shattered form a relic of his might. Codices like the Codex Bourbonicus depict his rites, warriors in hummingbird garb, hearts aloft, his worship a pulse in their empire. His name rang in chants, his eagle vision on their banners. His legacy shaped their world. The Aztecs' militarism, conquering tribes, feeding him captives, built an empire from his will. Tenochtitlan's founding, marked by his eagle on cactus sign, became Mexico's origin myth, its swampy rise his miracle. His son demanded blood, a belief so deep that when Cortez arrived in 1519, some saw him as Quetzalcoatl's return, but Huitzilopochtli's priests fought, their god unyielding. His fall with the city wasn't death, it was a shift. Spain's conquest buried him, but not fully. The Templo Mayor's ruins whisper his name, its stones assilent him. Catholic chroniclers like Bernardino de Sahagun recorded his tales, preserving him in ink, his birth, his wars, a god too vivid to erase. His hummingbird morphed into folklore, a warrior's soul in Mexico's skies, while his son echoed in Christian crosses, light over darkness retooled. Modern Mexico reclaims him. The eagle, snake, and cactus crown its flag, a direct nod to his prophecy, Tenochtitlan's birth as gift. Dia de los Muertos, with its skulls and offerings, carries his sacrificial echo, though softened by time. Artists like Diego Rivera paint him blue face, feathers aflame, his legacy a bridge from Aztec past to national pride. His name graces streets, his spirit in lucha libre masks, a war god reborn. Pop culture lifts him up. Games like Assassin's Creed hint at his rights. Books like Gary Jennings' Aztec weave his fury into fiction. Films, think The Road to El Dorado borrow his vibe, if not his name. Scholars dig his ruins, linking his cult to Mesoamerica's blood cults. His legacy isn't just myth, it's archaeology, a pulse in Mexico City's bones. Hummingbirds, still sacred, flutter as his ghosts. His meaning endures. To the Aztecs, he was survival, war, and son is life, sacrifice is duty. Today, he's resilience, a god who led a people to greatness, his light defiance against oblivion. Feminists note Coatlicue's role, his birth a mother's triumph. Historians see empire in his shadow. His legacy isn't gentle, it's fierce, a son that demands, a war that builds. Huitzilopochtli's mark is eternal. From codices to flags, he's Mexico's beating heart, a warrior god whose blood fed a nation, whose light still rises. His legacy isn't past, it's alive, a fiery dawn that never sets. Outro. That's the blazing tale of Huitzilopochtli, from his violent birth to his war-soaked reign and enduring legacy. What's your take, sun god or warrior king? Drop it in the comments. If you loved this dive into Aztec mythology, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for a new epic tale every single day. Thanks for watching Gods and Heroes Unveiled. See you tomorrow for another legendary journey.